Well, Happy New Year's, everyone. This is Nick Michalak and the amazing Steve Frazier.
Thank you. Hello.
And we're kind of closing off a year of analyzing a lot of remakes.
Yeah, we've done quite a few.
The originals, remakes, and getting some comparisons and seeing what's different than,
Better than,
or worse than. And so today...
Mostly worse than.
And so we're doing the other side here of Assault on Precinct 13. We did John Carpenter's version a couple months ago, so we're now doing the 2005 version. So guys, if you have your own copy of the film, you can sync it up to the timestamp of 0 and turn on your subtitles to follow along. We give you a countdown to sync up. So, in 3, 2, 1, play.
Not to say that we won't do any more remakes.
No.
Because we have some more, I think, that we're bandying about. But
this is the most exploration we've had up to now. And so
right.
Hawke.
Right. Ethan Hawke. He's got a little, I think he's had a little top dollar too, or that's probably Heron, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can't tell, but he plays a very good manic here, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's good.
Interesting that as we get into the film, he's playing an undercover cop, and he's using the name Napoleon, which is the name of the sort of the criminal in the first film.
Oh, the main bad guy,
yeah.
Right? Or the main... Yeah, his name was Napoleon.
Yeah, Napoleon Wilson, I think it was. Played opposite Bishop, which is interesting to twist around in this one, but Titus Welliver there. Gone to big things.
I'm sorry, who?
This guy. He's an Amazon series Bosch.
Okay. I've not watched it, but he just punched a dog, by the way.
But he's got a lot of traction up since this point. Yeah.
He looks familiar.
Yeah. He usually doesn't have the grown out hair.
Yeah, I don't think that's coke. I think it's like heroin or crack or something.
Yeah.
Something heavy. Serbian.
Mm-hmm.
Again, topical for the time.
Yeah.
Because we went from, as we've discussed, we went from the dirty Germans to the dirty Russians to the dirty Arabs. So, it's like, you gotta have a heel character. Just go with whatever war we're fighting at the time.
Yeah.
In which case, the Middle East.
Yeah.
But I guess like that Bosnia, Serbia era was more 90s than it was 2000s. But then again, we don't know at what point in time this flashback is taking place. I mean, we started off with a hollow action movie here.
Yeah.
He's got a good limp. He's got a Horace Pinker run here.
Yeah.
He looks sleazy.
And he's got that good look to him.
He looks like he's,
the lanky frame, the shaved down hair, the tat a little bit. It gives a little...
The quote-unquote wife beater shirt that he's got on.
Gives a little trash.
Yeah, he looks low rent.
Yeah.
And she does too.
Yeah.
Could be the hair.
Yeah.
Could be the outfit. Oh.
Oh.
Belly shot.
Oh!
Headshot.
Motherfucker.
This would really, I think, mess me up if I was...
Yeah.
Not to say that he is necessarily the boss of these two, but co-workers with.
Right.
And if I
was... at least calling the shots in this operation.
And if I was in a spot where, myself and two co-workers went into a situation and the two co-workers died.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily on my watch, per se, right. But, that I think it would mess me up, kind of much like it does here for him.
Yeah.
Why not production? That's a great name for a production company. I always try to think of a good name for a production company for myself, and can't come up with one. I'm still working on it. One of the contrasts between this movie and the original is that this one actually takes place at Precinct 13.
Yes, indeed. They planned ahead.
They did. He's got a can of mixed nuts there. It looks delicious. He's also got a bottle of booze. Brightmore. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a dog. I thought it was like a woman. He's got... Okay, and he was a Marine. The tats aren't good.
No, the butterfly's not happening.
No, I don't like it. The horse, whatever it is. Unicorn? No. I don't know, I can't tell.
No.
This looks like Detroit.
It is Detroit.
Is it?
Well... It's set in Detroit. They did minor filming in Detroit. Most of it's Ontario.
I was guessing. I honestly didn't know that.
Detroit.
It looks like Detroit.
They're probably I'd imagine these establishing shots are probably Detroit. And
Quaker City, yeah.
And they shot all the proper stuff in Ontario, Canada.
I honestly didn't know that this was set in Detroit. That was a total guess. That's hilarious. It's been a long time since I've seen this.
Yeah, it was the thing is, okay, I hadn't seen the original, obviously, because I just watched that before we did the commentary, but when this came out, I didn't want to go see it because it was like a release in January.
Yeah, we're right on the 16-year anniversary.
Yeah, so it came out in January. It's like, it's a January release. I don't want to start off the year with a kind of a bad January release action film.
Right.
I don't want
if it was any good, it would have come out in the fall.
Right. But then someone on a forum I was on kind of said, well, no, this is actually pretty good. Go, you can go check this out for yourself, and I did enjoy it.
I saw it for free. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of good action movies come out in January.
Yeah, surprisingly so.
It's a slow time of year, and I feel like if a studio has kind of a movie they're not sure about,
yeah,
it's a good time to dump it.
Yeah.
And here we have Drea de Matteo, who is not... Oh, yeah, she was fresh off
Sopranos.
her role in The Sopranos.
And I saw she was on Sons of Anarchy later.
Right, about to start a role on Sons. So, it's January, and there's nothing else going on.
Right.
And I get to see movies for free, and it's like, oh. And now I had never seen the original at this point. And I said, what the hell? I'll go sit for 2 hours in the theater and entertain me.
Yeah.
And I was thoroughly entertained. I don't know if he looks very believable in this cop uniform.
No, there was something about it that doesn't quite feel as filled out as it could.
He looks like he's drunk now.
Oh, he was shooting something back when he woke up.
This is the second movie in a row we've done where it's the end of the night and let's everybody let's throw a party and have
slosh it around. He's like, yeah? Oh.
So we have a similarity in that it's the final night. We're closing down this precinct.
Mm-hmm. The film has basic structural skeleton points of the original, but
there's the GM building on the right there with the 4 pillars and the one in the middle. Great building, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Been there a couple times.
Here we go, man.
Here we have the star of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3.
Yes.
The man personally responsible for putting Kincaid in the quiet room.
Goes by Laurence right now. If you're a friend, you can call him Fish.
He was Larry Fishburne in the credits of Dream Warriors.
Tom Cruise calls him Fish. Because he's Tom Cruise, he can get away with that stuff.
Tom Cruise can do whatever he wants.
Yes.
He also named his daughter Suri, so I don't know. I don't know how much credibility he has.
Yeah.
Is this supposed to be happening on the same day?
Yeah, this is all concurrent.
I thought that he had already been captured or whatever.
No, this is all... This is coming up soon because plot points and everything. But yeah, as I mentioned in the commentary for the first one, Fishburne's character's name is Bishop, where the cop in the first one was named Bishop.
Right.
But it was Ethan Bishop, and we got Ethan Hawke, then Fishburne playing the character named Marion Bishop. So, we got a nice...
A lot of little crisscrossing, yeah.
Interesting split there.
And we have a Napoleon crossover as well.
Yeah, so it's just a nice little tip or whatnot to kind of like, okay, we are remixing some elements, but we're still keeping to the spirit.
He's a badass, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, he's got presence all day long.
And these are after the Matrix movies.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So, because he looks very similar to
as
he did in those.
Yeah, he's still pretty fit here.
What a beautiful, snowy atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
It almost feels like real snow.
The film does have some really beautiful moments with that. It was interesting. Okay, well, he's being detained here at Precinct 21. Was it 21 on the actual building? I think it was. The original, maybe?
Oh, I thought it was 9.
There was like a division number, and then there was a precinct number. Another one when we were 13.
Right. I wanted one of them was 9.
Okay.
Why would you do that?
Yeah. Dean Keaton.
I was just going to say, what was his character's name? The cop there on the left looks familiar, too.
Look at this suit, man.
Is it like royal blue? Is it purple?
I think it's a purple. Only thing you look better is maybe like a brown leather jacket.
Well, absolutely. I mean, black men can wear any color suit they want, and it looks awesome.
Yeah.
You give them burgundy, you give them yellow, you give them purple, you give them any color they want. Seriously.
Oh, here we go, man.
Dennehy!
Dennehy, man.
Black men can wear everything.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Can we agree that Brian Dennehy was a treasure?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
I never kind of, well, I don't want to say never understood, but I find it interesting that Maria Bello here, who is beautiful, by the way, that she would be showing up to do this, like, psychology or this counseling treatment or whatever.
Yeah. In the middle of a blizzard.
Just, I don't know, like it... I mean, I guess that's what she does, is...
Right.
She shows up and does this at work. Yeah. And here she is making my argument. They had an appointment.
Yeah. And they play this chemistry off really well.
They're good. They're good. Nay. People get... I understand the glamour of a New Year's Eve party. Yeah. I don't know.
I've never...
You've never dressed up for a New Year's Eve party?
I've pretty much stayed home every New Year's Eve my entire life.
Oh, okay.
I never get invited anywhere. That's the problem.
Okay.
No one invites me to anything.
I've done plenty of going out on New Year's Eve. More often than not, I guess it's just go to a friend's house, kind of house party situation. I've never done any sort of like fancy get dressed up and go to a ball or something like that. I've done concerts. I've been to several concerts on New Year's Eve. Famously, the 1999 into 2000, the Y2K year.
Sure.
I was at the Rosemont Horizon in Chicago, Illinois, seeing Def Leppard.
Okay.
Hell of a show. So that was my first couple seconds of the year 2000 was with Joe Elliott and the boys.
That's a fine way to do it.
I worked for a bar band for many years, and New Year's Eve was a very high-paying gig. So I worked a lot of New Year's Eve in a bar.
Giant legs.
There he is,
the
star of Spawn that we talked about. Yes. One of our last shows. He looks pretty good here. Looks kind of sleazy and. I forget what that guy's been in, but he's been in something recently. Oh, you know what? He might also... Is that Kim Coates?
I believe it was, yeah.
He's on Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking of. Oh, yeah. Lady in a cop hat. That's good. It's funny that they put that, like, pilgrim hat. I mean, it's supposed to be like a top hat, right? But it looks more like a Thanksgiving hat.
Yeah.
she's very good looking too.
Yeah.
Good move. That was a nice little subtlety there of him, not taking the drink. Although it really just looks like water.
Yeah.
What do I know? Now, the shrink is still here?
I think she left. I think she's heading off to her party, but she does come back.
Oh, she comes back.
Because the storm.
Okay. But she accidentally left her file here.
Clearly.
Okay. Maybe that's why I was confused. Interesting shot. The pullback.
Yeah, it's a little digital.
Yeah, but it's cool.
It's nice. But
and this might be a model.
I don't think so. I think it's all digital rendering.
That looks like fake snow.
Yeah, it's a little too much in front of the camera.
Yeah, where are they taking them? To the new precinct?
I don't know. I kind of lost track of that. Well, because they did say that, okay, the courts, because of the holiday, they can't arraign them.
Like till Monday or whatever. Yeah.
So it's going to be like 2 days incarcerated.
He plays a good Twitch.
Oh, yeah. I feel like he's a really underrated actor. He doesn't get a lot of recognition. I mean, he's not terribly usually like lead actor. He's usually much more supporting. But as I was watching this, like, this guy's way too good to not get his more recognition for what he does.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a delight. I was going to say, why would they contact the bus and tell the bus to reroute?
Mm-hmm.
I almost feel like, and I'm nitpicking right now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. This is totally me. Wouldn't it have been better to have the bus come across a reason to not be able to get on the highway and say,
I can see that from a certain perspective. I imagine this is Gabriel Byrne's crew forming their plan, because Gabriel Byrne's crew, they're all corrupt cops,
right?
In on with Fishburne's character, but they're at odds because he killed the guy and stuff like that. They want to get more piece of the pie, is what Fishburne's character says later on. So basically, Byrne's crew is here to seize the place to get and kill Bishop, so he doesn't testify against them. So my perception in retrospect here is that probably
Byrne's crew
altered their plans, so they're stuck here where they can isolate and siege and attack. I don't know if that's explicitly stated as being the case, but
that makes sense.
That's a perception I get from the later plot points.
Yeah, well done. That makes sense. I'm good with it. I was just thinking from a storytelling logic point of view.
Mm-hmm. Because that's more or less, I think, what happens in the first film, that there's some problem transporting them. That wasn't one of the guys like sick or something like that on the bus, and they had to divert because it could be like another 6 hours to transport them downstate or something, or upstate, or up and around. So
should be coming around the mountain.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Is that guy needs no introduction, so they don't give him an introduction. You know who he is.
Oh,
there she is.
So that's a nice little plot point to make it where she doesn't have a car.
Right.
I just don't know. Did we need her character here? Other than something for him to do.
Well, it was all about addressing his thing at the beginning, where you commented about, I don't know how I would be able to handle the whole situation.
Right.
If my fellow officers were put in the situation and they got killed, that's what they're working through here. That's why he's stuck in a desk job now, because he's...
No, I get that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
And that's bringing that context to the forefront, having her as the psychologist.
I get even having her come and talking to him.
Yeah.
But do we
keeping her here?
Do we need her? Right? Do we need her to leave and then come back?
Not necessarily to leave and come back.
Like, do we need her? Another person. I mean, I guess they kind of continue therapy here, but
right. But I mean, this all does develop as the film goes along between the two of them, and
all right. I guess I had forgotten the idea that he was kind of in denial.
Right. And as the story goes along, he has to put other people in that same sort of situation and still deal with the ramifications when things go wrong.
I think they did a good job making her look wet.
Yeah.
Which sounds funny, but
yeah, just
as somebody
waiting down the hair and everything.
As somebody with long hair, I can testify that being outside in the snow for too long ruins your day.
Mm-hmm.
Bish. Rhymes with fish.
Yes.
Man, I wouldn't want to piss him off.
No.
When did John Leguizamo become a player?
Shit, I don't know. I have to zoom through his filmography real quick. I don't know what...
I feel like Spawn was the first thing that I remember him in.
Yeah, I'm sure he had some other...
Moulin Rouge was the first thing that I remember him being like a thing.
He was in that terrible Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, yeah.
That horse shit.
Yeah.
Supporting role in Carlito's Way. Those are the highlights at the top of his Wikipedia.
Yeah, I just feel like...
Probably just regularly working in supporting roles. He was in that Romeo and Juliet with DiCaprio.
Great movie, by the way.
So, right, just the fact he just kept working real hard.
Fine Arts Fair. March 7th or 11th and 12th. 7th and 12th?
I really like the dynamic between the two. I mean, he's all twitchy and hopped up on stuff, and he's very calculated and measured and making just a cool head. This guy really doesn't matter to him. There's nothing to get hot about him. He knows other shit in the back of his head is coming down upon him. He's just waiting his time.
He's really into it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's even more into it. Get that blower ready. Oh, it's 2005. Happy New Year. I had Old Lang Syne stuck in my head not that long ago. Oh my god. Talk about a song that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Oh boy. We got the ski masks. That's kind of creepy, right? You missed your party, lady, by the way.
Nice camera movement.
Yep.
Gives you the geography.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, kind of.
It gives you enough of a sense of how one thing flows into another in this area. So when you're doing action films, you gotta understand what the geography is between all the people in the scene.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
He only made it about 2 minutes into 2005.
Oh.
But his tombstone will say 2005, even though... Rosie. You're safe. What are you... Oh, you know what's going on. Bluebird. I wonder what it would feel like to get shot.
I think you've mentioned this before. You've made this inquiry before.
I mean, it's gotta hurt like a son of a bitch. The burning. Can you imagine the burning?
Oh.
I mean, if you've ever burnt your finger or your hand or something,
Yeah.
now imagine it inside you. He gone.
Yeah.
I like a fishnet stocking, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
We have the good setup of the blame game.
Right.
Blame game is always good
Mm-hmm.
in any movie. I guess at least one where you're trying to maintain a sense of mystery.
You're right, right.
Anything to create multiple plausible scenarios.
Yeah. And conflict. Internal conflict with these characters before the rest of the plot begins to form itself up.
Well, he said the frequencies are blocked. Don't you listen, you stupid bitch? Goodbye.
I'm not going there.
So wait, is she also a cop, or is she just a shrink?
She's just a shrink.
Because I thought she was like a cop shrink. Like,
well, she's not like someone who goes out in the field or anything.
No, but I mean...
I think she's like in Lethal Weapon. They always had the psychiatrist or whatever case was that dealt with Riggs. So she wasn't an actual cop. She just...
But she was employed by the police department.
A mental health professional that's on the payroll.
Okay. Yeah.
She's got some spite.
She's speaking for all of us.
She's got some bite.
She always has, in every role she's ever played. Notice Dennehy's the one creating all of the narrative here.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
I mean, it makes sense from Ethan Hawke's perspective.
Yeah.
To not want to just let the criminal go.
Right.
He was just apprehended today.
Right.
And apparently he's a big enough name that he doesn't need an introduction.
Right.
I would be apprehensive about letting him go.
Right. And even then, there's no guarantee that if you just let him go, they will leave you alone.
Right, just because Dennehy says so?
Right.
We haven't heard anything from the criminals, or the invaders, or whatever we're going to call them.
Uh-oh. You know what time it is.
Oh, you bang!
You bang.
Well, don't get down there.
Down there.
You're right in the line of all the fire.
That's a nice slide there. Still nice.
Great line.
So good.
More like don't have, probably. I don't know about you, but if I'm closing my police precinct, I'm not going to leave a lot of firepower hanging around. I mean, I think the precinct's officially been closed since midnight.
Yes.
Nice little montage.
Mm-hmm.
He does have a great look, Dennehy.
Oh, yeah. Always has.
Fits right in a cop uniform, too.
Oh, all the way back to First Blood.
Well, sure.
Yeah, that too. But, man, Dennehy was...
God, he was a son of a bitch in that movie, wasn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, I saw so much range with the guy, man. He could play a character like that in First Blood and turn everything around, be the sweetest, most charming guy on screen in a different type of film, and God, he had so much heart.
Like Tommy Boy?
Oh. It's like I covered like both the FX films that he was in with Brian Brown from Cocktail.
Okay. Yep. I didn't see those.
Yeah, but just like he's so charming because he's playing another one where he's playing a cop, but he's so charming and so great at just acting with subtlety and nuance, stuff like that. Just a wonderful fucking actor.
This bluebird is written all over the bus.
Yeah.
I really like the white ski mask.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's,
Well,
there's something very creepy about a face covering like that.
I'm gonna touch on something in a second here.
Going back to, maybe Friday 2 with the pillowcase is creepy.
Okay.
The Strangers pillowcase situation is creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel uneasy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something about the white. Like a black ski mask.
Doesn't have the same effect.
No, it's too common or something.
Yeah. Here, stabbed him in the eye with the icicle.
Yep.
From Die Hard 2.
Okay, yeah.
And also, remember all John Amos's guys when they turn heel in the whole film? They've got the white masks on too.
Oh, they do, don't they?
And I started realizing, well, this is actually like Carpenter's Assault mixed with Die Hard 2 in a little bit of a way.
Which also, are there jet skis on this? Because that would be straight out of Die Hard 2.
No.
Because that also took place in a snowstorm.
Yeah.
Die Hard 2.
Yeah.
So...
I don't mind you borrowing from Rennie Harlan.
They took a couple different movies and they just married them together.
Yeah, that's fine.
So White Ski Mask was a cop.
And it's such almost a screenwriter compulsion to have someone just say, "Oh, he was a cop." After you show it.
Yep.
A lot of screenwriters will have them say another line. I like that they didn't do that.
It's great.
They use the visual and everyone understands it. It's a really good piece of filmmaking. Sometimes some filmmakers will think like a piece of dialogue will be more of a dramatic beat, but you don't need it sometimes.
No.
You can.
It could have been. You could have, had one of them say something like, "Oh shit," before they pan to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
But I liked how they played it.
I agree.
That's a direct storytelling beat there. You reveal it to the audience at the same time you reveal it to the characters, and you get their reactions, and you move the story up.
Which, anybody who's listening to these commentaries for the last 4 years knows that I hate dramatic irony.
Yes. And
that concept of the audience finding out plot points at the same time as the characters, that it works on so many levels. And you're absolutely 100% right that was the best way to play that. And Ethan Hawke, pronouns pal, was, we're under the assumption that he believes Fishburne in that Fishburne is not behind this attack, but in fact they're here to get him, to kill him instead of rescue him.
Well, for Bishop there to tell him these guys are here to kill me, to stop me from testifying, is far more. That's not something you would lie about. If you were trying to get out of here and escape, you'd tell him the whole thing. Oh, You would tell him something to allow him to get out,
as opposed to saying something to build the trust.
Right.
Because I kind of feel like you'd go the other way.
Yeah.
I've seen enough movies to know that if Fish tells Hawke that, hey, they're here to kill me, that's enough of a distraction that makes it easier to get out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think it works better the other way for him to escape than it does. Build up some trust. They give him a gun, and he turns around and kills him.
Right,
you know
right.
What I mean?
Yeah.
I think that works.
That works.
And Gabriel Byrne is the leader of these.
Yes.
I can't tell if he has an accent or not. We don't have the volume up very high.
I think he represses it a little bit in this film. So, as you probably
is that a clove cigarette, by the way? Gross. Buddy of mine used to smoke clove cigarettes. Jesus.
But yeah, as we probably both have watched Usual Suspects so many times, we're kind of used to that. His Irish accent is a little subtle here and there. It's not as typically overpronounced in a lot of roles, but I'm always trying to pick up on it. But this one, when I was watching it last night, it's just like he's trying to keep as American as possible.
I heard it there.
Yeah, it's not perfect repression of it, but he's still got it in some places.
She has OCD?
Yeah, she does.
Okay, that's too much for me.
Too much. Yeah.
That's nice that he's counseling her.
Yeah. Well, now she's in a situation that he's more familiar with, this sort of heightened life and death type of thing, that he knows how to focus himself down and everything and think clearly.
See what he just gave her there?
An old fur lining.
A good old fur collar coat. No better cop prop than that. Here's our big dramatic.
Yeah.
Kind of like you were saying in the other movie we did, where Batman,
where Robin,
right, where the dramatic pause or sections of the story are counteractive to the fast
narrative.
pace of right. And I feel like this scene right there was like we just started building up a suspenseful standoff.
Yeah.
And they're in there having counseling.
Well, it's nice because you have the scene with Byrne there kind of talking his own things going on. And then you shift over to them to have a little bit of a balance there as everyone's starting to
in place.
Move their forces in the correct places.
The game of Risk.
Yes.
I can't imagine what it would be like to be the prisoner,
mm-hmm.
captured,
head stuck in this situation,
put on the bus, put in the cell. We're fighting with each other. Those people out there are crazy. The cops are fighting with each other. But then again, they're also prisoners, so it's like you kind of have to.
You don't have much of a choice,
right? You kind of have to do whatever the cop says, right? Like a SWAT team.
Yeah.
I don't know who they work for, but.
Yeah, it's such an interesting thing. This film bombed completely. They spent $30 million to make it. They only got 35 and a half, a little over 35 million worldwide.
Oof, that's what you get for putting it out in January.
Yeah, I mean the reviews probably weren't like glowing or anything. It was probably a little more in the middle about things. So. Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's a little bit of a gamble. I mean, if you're uncertain about it, you put it in January, it's like, okay, it just...
This is a nice scene.
Yeah.
He's still reading that newspaper. There can't be that many words left that he hasn't read already.
Yeah. But yeah, like you put it out in January, it's like, it's a real hit or miss type of thing. Either it's really going to, like, even though Taken was released in the UK earlier the previous year, they put it out in the U.S. in January, and it just hit off really well.
I remember it, yeah.
But it's like, every so often, it's like, you know, you take
by
a
the
chance.
way, Liam Neeson hasn't made another movie that wasn't exactly like Taken since. He's been doing this...
Not many. They've all been kind of in that same vein or whatnot.
Exact same movie for 15 years now he's been making. Including one as a snowplow driver who has to get revenge on his daughter or some shit. Yeah, it's all
some kind of revenge thing or thriller plot of some kind, yeah. I'm behind the Camaro there. Was that a Camaro?
I missed it.
Is there a Camaro or Firebird?
There's only 8 people, is that correct? There's Hawke and Dennehy, the 2 ladies,
the and 3 4 prisoners.
Oh, right, the 3 plus Larry Fishburne. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought there were only 3 prisoners.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the girl, Ja Rule, and Leguizamo.
Yeah. Got it. So yes, 8 inside. Unknown outside. But they've switched from the white masks to being SWAT team members, so now it's harder
to distinguish them.
Well, yeah, but it's also harder to care about them or be afraid of them.
Yeah, in my opinion, they're a little too
cookie cutter.
In a certain way, yeah. I'm just trying to find them too interchangeable.
There you go. Yeah. You got to let them out. Cops and the criminals working together. And he is cool as a cucumber.
Mm-hmm.
That works for me, by the way. at this point... Oh, I guess they have cut off all the communications. Okay.
Yes.
I was just thinking, surely there would be some way to contact other police. No phone lines, no radios, no cell phone signal.
Right.
It's a lot of gun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was a Rambo pose right there. The kind of sideways gun. It's fun. Little C4, is that what that was?
Yeah.
I like that sign. Please help us keep the room clean, or the break room clean, or... It's like a Tommy gun, or what?
Yeah.
What do you call that thing with the round?
Yeah.
She's still counting. What a complicated helmet system he has there with that.
Night vision stuff, yeah.
Is Ja Rule a shoot name or a work name?
I like this. I mean, she's not used to seeing this shit. For them, it's just second nature, but to her,
well, yeah,
it's traumatizing.
Yeah, she's gonna need herself by the time this movie's over. All right. Ja Rule, real name, Jeffrey Bruce Atkins. So his initials are J.A.
Okay. Nothing wrong with an Atkins.
No. I mean, he doesn't have the mustache to match up with the great Thomas Atkins. He was born in Queens. Oh, yeah. Little Molotov cocktail there. Burn that bitch.
There's no Tony in sight, though.
That does not look like Tony Caesar.
No, it ain't no Tony.
Not to say that Tony's the only one that can do a burn.
I'm just saying. As we like to make sure.
He's the best. He's the industry standard.
Yes. Maybe he's got some proteges out there we can find out about it down the line. Oh, that's
awesome.
Nice.
Love that.
It's like no nonsense there, man. Fuck this bullshit.
Is that the guy that was just on fire?
Probably.
Notice he jumped out the window himself.
Yes, indeed. Survived that way.
Who's missing? Dennehy's missing from this. There he is.
Yeah.
And now we have a Mexican standoff. And another Pepsi Cola. Damn it. This is the biggest Mexican standoff that I think I've ever seen in a movie. Sweet Cheeks is a great nickname.
Sweet Cheeks.
I'm pretty sure they've already had a chance to blow the brains out, and they have not.
Yeah. I like the photography, man. It's good stuff.
I liked the focus on that.
Yeah, the rack focus.
From Dennehy's face to the point of his gun. Mm-hmm. Like a scar on his forehead or something there? Look at that. Probably a story behind that. Maria Bella's just got her eyes so wide. Yeah. She's great.
Oh, goddamn right.
Get that Pepsi out of here. This is like the third movie in a row we've done where there was no Coke to be found and there's Pepsi all over the shit. God, I could go for a Coca-Cola right now. Fishburne is such an intimidating character. Person. I wonder how big he is. Like, he seems like a real tall man, but as we've experienced...
He's very broad-shouldered.
We've come to find out that some of these people that look and...
Yeah.
That appear huge...
Aren't
are
actually
actually small little men.
Yeah.
I mean, Danny Trejo is shorter than me.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, what? Eyes all over my goodies. This is a neat little...
yeah. Transitional...
match cuts, or... Yeah. I guess that's maybe not the right word, but... fade in and outs to show...
And transitional camera movement and stuff. You gotta get up to get down, man.
Well, that's what I hear. Your New Year's resolution was to stop smoking? She called him gangster? Is that correct?
She likes bad boys.
She always has. Interesting that she just wants to screw around. This is an interesting way of using exposition a good way.
Yeah, yeah.
Because...
it's not really about the exposition, it's about the relationship between these two.
And also... well, the undertone of the relationship, but also she's asking to verify the folklore to which he is confirming.
Where Leguizamo's character has been doing that, he's all kind of amped up, whatnot, and want to buy into all the shit, and he's giving him no attention whatsoever about that. But she's kind of into him a little bit.
Well, you know,
it's a little intimate too.
Right, but there's a different, like, by her asking, you've been shot 5 times, you know, is that true? And him saying 6, it's so different than, you know, the old, well, you know you've been shot 5, telling saying it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's the good way to write dialogue. This is very well done thus far.
Yeah.
IMO. Can't believe I just said that.
Oh, shit. I've been quoting that line for 14 years. Our shit's on pause. I really
it's good. It's a good line.
Yeah, our shit's on pause.
Our shit's on pause. I'll have to start adding that into my lexicon. Mm-hmm. How do you know? Mm-hmm. Why would a cop that works in this precinct and knows that the precinct is defunct at midnight show up at 12:30 or whatever this is? Mm-hmm. Here's another round of cop or bad guys not knowing how to hit the broadside of a barn. And who's this actor now?
I don't know the actor at all. Seems somewhat familiar.
Yeah, I thought he was somebody.
Matt Craven?
Matt Craven, sure. I know the name.
He was in Happy Birthday to Me.
Yes, he is the guy.
Is he the father?
No, he's...
He looks kind of like...
No, he's the...
He doesn't look old enough, though.
No, he's the guy with the beak. The one with the... I mean, let's see, which one...
Hold on.
Which one was he? I see. You look at his face and you go, "Oh yeah, that's him."
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was the one with the big scraggly hair that we really liked. Okay.
Yeah, that's him.
Wild.
I mean, obviously this is 15 years later, so he's our age now, or then.
Huh. That's nice.
Well, that puts a little bookend on 2020, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He's got the long face and the big nose. Yeah. So Legs thinks that Craven is working for for Gabriel Byrne. Got it.
Yeah, thinking they get a spy inside or something, you know.
A mole. There's always a mole. I watched enough 24 to know that there's always a mole. So good.
Again, just like that whole beat just a minute ago. I mean, Fishburne just takes this nice, calm stroll across the room, kind of walks up next to him, stuff like that. Again, the guy's got such a precision of what he does on screen.
I wonder if the character was written that way or if that's his interpretation of it. Old man Dennehy just doesn't know what to think.
You don't trust nobody now.
So, I guess now that we're over an hour in, how do you feel with the changes that have been, the updates that have been made, where in this scenario, the outside people have a specific objective to either rescue or murder, we still are unsure, one of the characters inside, as opposed to kind of a random incident that led to the events in the Carpenter film. And kind of the unknown, why are they doing this?
Right.
We're not real sure. Do you have a preference?
Well, the way they do it in this film does make it feel much more like a standard action film. Everything's very clearly laid out, motivations and stuff like that. Everything's easily interpretable. With the Carpenter film, it does feel a little bit more innovative. How he approaches it in terms of having... Action films don't typically have atmosphere in a certain way, the same as like a horror film.
Yep.
He created a lot of atmosphere, creating such a almost like I say, kind of a Night of the Living Dead zombie siege kind of faceless sort of force that's almost they keep coming after you like there's an endless supply of these random guys. You don't know how many there are, you don't know who they are, what they're doing. They feel almost like a supernatural force of sorts.
And also, they went out of their way to make themselves hidden from bystanders, passers-by, neighbors.
It almost felt ethereal in a certain way. They
so
materialize and vanish at will or something.
It almost seems, in this scenario, while it's very well done and plausible and logical,
it's much more conventional.
Yeah, it's almost too polished or too by the book.
And I'll get into it. I was wondering where to drop it. It's like, love Gabriel Byrne, but his character is just way too straightforward for Gabriel Byrne. I feel Gabriel Byrne works very well when he's got complexity to him. We can work a lot of mechanics in his head, stuff like that. It's too straightforward of a villain for his style of acting. I feel like you get like a Powers Booth or something that has like big presence and whatnot, and can be a little bit more because Byrne's low key. He's a low key style of actor. He works with the subtlety, stuff like that. I feel like you need a bigger actor in a certain way.
What I feel like is lacking here is Gabriel Byrne as the leader of the invasion.
He's not doing a lot of strategy. In
right.
A certain way.
He hasn't communicated a plan.
Right.
He isn't. I don't feel. He just feels like another face in the crowd.
He doesn't feel like the mastermind.
Right.
You're like, oh, just send the SWAT team in. The SWAT team will do what they do. Snipers will do what they do. We're just planning to kill everyone anyway, so he doesn't really have to dictate
how or why or when. Yeah. And these two are making a run for it.
Yeah.
Because the criminal can hotwire a car, is that correct?
That's what she's claiming she can do, yes.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said for a random act. Which, as we've discussed, is kind of what makes Halloween so brilliant.
Yeah.
Also John Carpenter theory.
Yes.
R.I.P. Atkins. The idea that it's a random occurrence that leads to extraordinary circumstances is a great formula that I can buy into because it feels natural.
Feels more real in a certain way.
Right, because, I do believe in corrupt police. I think they exist. I don't necessarily believe that 36 of them would all band together.
Right.
To be all nefarious at the same time. Right.
And they're able to pull together all the SWAT gear and all this random stuff, and there's no one else in the force that has any clue or whatnot, doesn't raise alerts or whatnot.
Aw, R.I.P. Johnny Legs.
Yeah. And apparently on the test screenings, people liked his character so much, they didn't have that shot in there of the close-up of him with the gunshot.
Oh.
Because the test screening honestly liked him so much, the director decided, I'm going to emphasize his death even more.
That makes sense.
Because so many times, a lot of times, they'll be like, oh, they liked his character so much, okay, we're going to refashion it so the character lives or something.
Right.
That's what happened with Dewey in Scream, or it happened with Ken Foray in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. The audience loves the character so much, we're just going to keep him alive. We're going to change the ending or something. I like that they just, get him more.
Right.
Twist the knife.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Oh, see, and then they hid one in the back seat, and goodbye.
And just like the original, so I mean, it's similar, but a little different, just a tad bit different.
Well, I will say, as we've discussed on all of these, you have to be better than, worse than, or different than, are your only three choices.
Right.
And if obviously nobody goes out to be worse than, so that's off the table. So in order to be a good movie, it's better than or different than. Mm-hmm. And I think this one is different enough.
Yeah.
To be, like you said,
to warrant some things are a little more similar.
Right. It's a standard textbook action movie.
Mm-hmm.
Our main characters have kind of insurmountable odds. Mm-hmm. Especially since...
I like this shot. Look at this photography. Look. Real nice piece of skill there. Have the background fall away on them.
The old Hitchcock deal.
Yeah.
I like that their numbers are dwindling.
Yeah, that's good.
The odds are becoming more insurmountable.
Mm-hmm.
Dennehy's rocking a great mustache.
Oh, yeah. And I like that I think he was getting a little glare off of Fishburne there. A little bit of something.
This is the first time that Gabriel Byrne has had any sort of...
meat?
Yeah. Validation as the leader.
Yeah. Defer to him about what to do about this person.
Decision maker.
Mm-hmm.
Good night.
Look at this shot, man.
That might be CGI snow.
Might be, but...
it looks awesome.
Oh, yeah.
The lighting is great.
And the fact that they have the act there where he just shoots her in the head and they just go right back to business as usual.
And what I like is that it was a wide shot.
Yeah.
And they held it.
Yeah.
So she... normally, you cut away to a different angle.
Right, you jazz it up a little bit with different shots and angles and such.
Right, but they shot her and then held on it for, I don't know, 45 seconds?
Something, yeah.
I mean, that's a long time.
Yeah. It just shows the...
It's just a different style than what you're used to.
But it also shows, again, those two characters, the dirty cops, they're sort of apathy, their disconnect from anything. It's like, hey, killing her doesn't really mean anything to them. she's just another body. She doesn't matter anything like that. So shooting her in the head and she just sits there. They don't mind paying attention 1 second after they killed her. It conveys also a lot of things with character temperament and stuff like that. And now he's having to deal with the fact that he put those people out there and got them killed the same as his teammates before.
Right. This time it was 4 people.
Yeah, all 4 of them.
That's a good looking shot.
Yeah. So just fuck the pills. They're not going to help.
A lot of interesting focus.
Yeah.
Setups here.
I mean, the DP wasn't anyone I noticed. It looked like he had a lot of TV credit, more modern TV credits, but doing a good job here. And the director have a nice quality vision going on.
Yeah, it's hard to even recognize Matt Craven.
Yeah.
Because he looks like
a
dad.
Well, like I said, he looks more like the dad from Happy
he does.
Birthday to Me. Just like the timeline didn't work out with that because it's been 20 years. 20 plus.
Yeah, almost 25.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Huh?
Who's paying the heat bill here? Nobody, I guess, because we're moving out.
I know.
So never mind. Fuck it. Leave the door open. No, I get it. It's a plot point. I was making a joke. God. So there's still the question of who's the mole.
Mm-hmm.
Even this late in the game,
yeah,
with only 4 characters left in the building, there's still questions.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like the camera work here as well.
Yeah.
With the spinning, although I get motion sickness, so
Yeah.
it's starting to bother me, but I like it in theory.
Yeah. Keeps energy in the scene. Gives a little disorientation about not knowing who to trust, stuff like that.
Right.
So, yeah, works.
I guess I was wrong. There's 5 people in the building now.
Yeah.
Can you just land a helicopter on any old roof?
Oh, they're dropping dudes down.
So even more cops are involved in this dirty scheme.
Yes, and they got a chopper, which requires some kind of clearance from some air traffic controller to clear them to go up in this mess, which I'm sure no one would actually do.
You've started to lose me on the plausibility
the expansion of the endless force
of dirty cops.
All right.
At this point, there's more dirty cops on the force than there are not dirty cops.
It would work in a certain way if you could have the bad guys twisted around and say that Bishop has taken hostages in this precinct and is twisted good cops around to do what they want to by turning the story around.
I think that's a great idea. They're going to have a little barbecue, huh?
Uh-huh.
I wonder what chemical that would be. Paint thinner, maybe?
That's what I was guessing. It looks like paint thinner cans.
Because it's not like gasoline.
Well, yeah. Why would they have gasoline or kerosene here?
That's what I'm wondering. Like, why would they have any sort of flammable chemical?
Yeah.
Why would they have that much paint thinner, though? Also. Fire's so awesome.
Uh-huh.
I guess it helped, being the son of a fireman, that I'm also not necessarily a fire bug, but it's kind of in my blood. My dad's definitely, as a fireman, most firemen are fire bugs. Or good with, starting a fire or maintaining a fire.
Okay.
Or I guess it's in my blood.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime there's a good a movie based around fire, I gotta have it.
As you mentioned before, Backdraft.
Backdraft is so good. Ladder 49 made me cry my eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
Even like the Towering Inferno is fun. I love a good fire movie. Who's going to call him? There's no phone line. Oh, here we're in the Saw Tunnel, where it just goes in a circle and a circle and a circle.
Don't mind Elwes. He's going to be crawling around.
Right.
Bleeding out. Step right over him.
Right, Donnie Wahlberg's here somewhere.
Yeah, I was reading, at least there was a trivia fact on it, saying that Mark Wahlberg was considered for Hawke's role in the film.
Okay.
I could have seen it.
Yeah. In some ways, that probably would have been better. Hawke is a little squirrely. Like, yeah. I see him definitely as like a tweaker.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see him as a sergeant. And
a few more years on him, it would have fit a little stronger.
Wahlberg, on the other hand, I feel like could be tweaky if he needed to be. But he would be, maybe not then, but I guess the Wahlberg I'm thinking of today.
Yeah.
He could be a sergeant, no problem.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
GMC with great product placement right there, front and center.
Here it is.
And Dennehy
was the rat all along.
He did say that in his defense.
Yes, he did.
Good line. There's still something I can't quite get my head around. All of these dirty cops working together.
Right. It's too much. Right, that Fishburne says earlier, it's like, it runs through your entire department, so I can't tell you how many cops there are involved with it. Just like, if everyone was that dirty, there'd be too many leaks in the entire system. That Marion Bishop would not be the only threat to them. You think there'd be like dirty judges and dirty
right.
attorneys and other little things. It'd be way too spread out, and have way too many people getting greedy and slipping up and talking to this, that, and the other thing. It would be too unmanageable.
By the way, Dennehy just got blown up by the little C4 in the pocket trick. Grenade, whatever it was.
Yeah, like a flash bomb.
I don't know how he had one of those on his person in order to put it in Dennehy's pocket, but
I think he might have. I think he picked it up from during one of the sieges into the place.
Okay.
Kind of like at the halfway point of the film. I think he grabbed it because there was one of them that used it, and I think he grabbed it off of him.
Who was in that car? Iris? No. I think it was. I thought one of the good guys was in that car. Maybe I'm wrong. Gabriel Byrne? I don't.
I lost track. Byrne's out here
in the woods with Michael Myers and the whole police force. So instead, we'll stop and say no. Let's send all the police home. And instead,
I'll come up on it in a minute. Yeah, Iris.
Oh, and Capra.
Yeah. I don't think I'll have much trouble acting like he's dead. He's probably concussed.
Yeah, he didn't look too good. He doesn't look too good. Where's the light coming from?
Yeah, I was just thinking, it's nice and cinematic, but it's a little overly staged.
I mean, moonlight does not give off that much.
Oh, hell no.
There's no street lights or anything, right?
Not that it's revealed to us. It's kind of a nice cat and mouse little thing. It would be nice if there was a little bit more denseness to the forestry.
Well, yeah, I mean...
It's pretty wide open.
How many ways in to the woods are there?
There are.
Get him, girl.
And here, I think she... Oh, no.
Oh, hello. Look at that move.
Yeah.
The old knife to the throat. I like it. Yeah, I don't quite understand how they don't always know where each other are.
Why is he... As we're seeing, the woods are seeming extremely well lit. Why does he need night vision?
Yeah, that would make it worse.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, it's not exactly suspenseful. I don't know. There's something missing. There's something missing. For me.
Yeah. Yeah. Try to turn up the volume, but yeah, they're not playing any kind of suspense music or anything. They're playing very quiet. Shit's back on pause.
Back on pause. It is a great line.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't hurt you have two excellent actors with it. But yeah, I mean, the value of the actors you have in this thing really do a lot for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh.
Yeah, it hurts. Can you even imagine what it would be like? Okay, the exposition.
I mean, I think it's fine because it's the first time we've really had these two guys face to face in the movie.
A lot of standoff in this movie.
Yeah. A lot of decisions to make in a hot moment here.
I don't remember, and I know it's only been an hour and a half.
Sure.
Was there a situation in the opening sequence where he had the chance to kill the bad guy and did not?
No, he did kill him, but it's not until after the bad guy killed his other people. Because when they're in the apartment, the guy shoots Hawke in the leg.
Yeah.
And then they burst out. And they try to follow him and split up and everything like that. And Hawke trails behind everyone else because he's limping, so they get killed before he gets out there to kill the bad guy.
I think, in hindsight, perhaps it would have been better if
there was a hesitation in the
Hawke,
opening.
Hawke had a chance to kill the bad guy and
try to err on the side of arrest and trial stuff.
Then the bad guy kills the partner, which then, when you get to this scene,
there's more internal conflict towards it,
and he makes the decision to shoot the bad guy as opposed to waiting.
Right.
And then another, slight change from the original, where at the end, the cop and the bad guy are buddy-buddy walking away, arm in arm.
Where I did mention that, not that it was Carpenter, but I think one of the actors was kind of feeling like, I think it was the actor who portrayed Bishop or whatnot, kind of felt like he wanted to have an extra scene where he lets Napoleon go at the end of the film because of the relationship they built up. But this works too, because, I mean, Hawke ain't going fucking anywhere. He's been fucked up. But they still have that wavelength between them.
I feel like in this one, Hawke and Fish never really bonded as friends. I think in the Carpenter film...
There is more of that, yeah.
I feel like at the end you feel like, even though their worlds are different, that they're friends.
Yeah.
And here, it was more like a partnership.
Working relationship. Right. Lesser of two evils type of thing. We're going to work this out together.
And again, works...
the shit's on pause thing. Once this is resolved, then our shit's back on, and we're going to have this conflict between us.
Kind of like Heat.
A little bit.
You know,
a little bit.
There's a flip side to that coin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, that this works for this kind of standard action movie fodder. Mm-hmm. But there's something to be said about the friendship aspect of the original.
Yeah.
So I think as we're getting ready to roll credits here, Happy New Year, Sarge, is a good way to end it.
Yeah.
January 1st, in the city of Detroit, Rock City. It's different enough to be fun, good.
Yeah.
I like it.
I still think you could do a back-to-back on this thing and still get something different out of each version. And still have a good time of it on both ends.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's definitely enough of a difference to... I mean, you couldn't just make this movie and call it something else.
Right, it's too similar.
Without people saying, wait a minute, you just remade Precinct 13. Right. So instead, they went the route of calling it that, but being their own thing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how you're supposed to do it, right? Yeah. Inspired by, but not a direct copy.
Yeah.
Unlike, for example, the Omen remake that we were discussing off-air, that the Omen remake is almost
the same fucking script.
Almost shot for shot.
Yeah.
So, why bother?
Yeah.
Unlike the Amityville Horror remake, that is actually significantly better than the original. Last House on the Left, significantly better remake. Maybe
that's what I've heard.
One of my favorites remakes. We this last year covered The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah.
Which was a significant improvement.
Yeah.
Different enough that you can tell the same skeleton of a story.
Yeah.
Three casting directors. Ja Rule. Alphabetical order. Okay. Interesting. Fulvio Caesar. So we had a Caesar.
Okay.
It just wasn't Anthony Caesar.
Yeah, this came out in the same year as the apparently worst remake when they remade The Fog.
Oh my god.
Carpenter I haven't heard anything from Carpenter about this one, but because he wrote the original, he gets a payday off of this one.
Yeah.
Because based off his script. I think The Fog was written by Nick Castle. He didn't write that one originally, I don't think.
Carpenter.
Oh,
I thought he did.
Whatever the case was, I think he has come out and said that he thought it was a piece of shit. Anyway, typically doesn't say much of anything.
Well, I don't think he cared for the Halloween remakes.
Oh, no.
But he still gets a payday on it, so
right.
Who cares, right? You know?
Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Okay, Carpenter and Deborah Hill wrote the original Fog, but yeah, I'm pretty certain Carpenter was very cross about what they did with that film.
Gun wranglers. That'd be a fun job. What do? I wrangle the guns. I work on the snow team. Here again, caterers and craft services, different people.
That's strange.
I don't understand the difference.
Maybe it's just the people who supply the food, then the people who make the food, cooks the food. I don't know. It's weird.
There's got to be... I got to look into this. I got to look into it.
Some kind of division there.
Yeah, I mean, the caterers might be the people that make it, and then craft services coordinates and serves.
Possibly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The City of Prague.
Philharmonic.
Huh.
Intriguing.
3D
Mr. X
animators.
Incorporated. Digital effects.
Yeah, I think I like this movie. I saw it in the theater. I enjoyed it. It has.
I don't have much else to say until the credits run out. There's about another minute and a half here.
It has rewatchability.
Mm-hmm.
You know, much more modern.
Yeah.
You know, cinematic.
Right.
You know, it looked like a blockbuster kind of.
Right.
The snow was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Dick Clark.
Mm-hmm. Well, Dino.
I love Dean Martin. I love Dean Martin. No Ja Rule on the soundtrack.
No, apparently not.
You'd think, right?
Why wouldn't you arrange that, you know?
I mean...
Come on.
That's peanut butter and jelly, no?
A package deal.
Right. Oh, you want Mr. Adkins to appear in your film? We would also like him to appear on the soundtrack.
Tom Atkins, you can get a jazz band together or something.
I think Tom Atkins would be tremendous in a jazz band.
Well, guys.
Happy New Year.
Thank you very much, and Happy New Year, and hopefully good things are ahead.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Good things are coming here.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Great stuff. Bye-bye.
Bye.